Okay, good afternoon, everybody. A friend of mine told me that he went away with his wife to a beachfront hotel, I believe in Florida, last Shabbos, and they realized that the hotel gives away in each room these water bottles, metal water bottles, that are for you to keep, because people need to hydrate constantly. So instead of leaving just two plastic water bottles, so they have water filling stations that you could keep refilling your water bottles. Now, being that these water bottles were metal, they decided they need to do Tfilas Keilim if they're going to use them. So they went down to the beach right before Shabbos to do Tfilas Keilim in the ocean, but they realized they're in their Shabbos clothing. So now what are they going to do? They're going to make a mess of themselves. So one of the non-Jewish hotel staff was there and said, "Oh, you want me to do the dipping thing? I could do that for you. I do this all the time." So apparently it's enough from people stay at the hotel that need Tfilas Keilim. So their shaila was, is that okay? Can you give it to the non-Jewish hotel staff to do the Tfilas Keilim? And if you do, what do you do about the bracha on the Tfilas Keilim? So the in the Beis Yosef, in Simon Kov Chav, quotes from the Ramban and the Rashba that Tfilas Keilim does not require any kavana. So if a kli just falls into the mikveh, that counts as Tfilas Keilim as well. And the Bach explains that this is based on a sugya in Meseches Chulin Daf Lamed Aleph about Tfilas Nida, that Tfilas Nida does not require kavana, so Memela Tfilas Keilim will not require kavana either. However, the Shach and Sivkat L'Chavches points out that there's a big difference between Tfilas Nida, meaning if Tfilas Nida is going to be the basis, we run into some trouble. Because if you look in Simon Kuf Tzadiches, the Ramah writes that even though the Mechaber says Tfilas Nida doesn't require any kavana, the Ramah writes, Yesh Machmir and Matzrichno, so Tfilah Acheres, that some are Machmir, that if a woman just fell into the mikveh, that she should go again, and the Ramah writes, V'yesh Lachmir L'chadchila, and we should be Machmir that way L'chadchila. So the Shach says, it's hard to imagine that that's the basis, that the basis is going to be Tfilas Nida, for Tfilas Keilim. By Tfilas Nida, the Ramah says that we're Machmir L'chadchila. So the Shach explains, no, Nida is more strict, because Nida, the Tefillah actually accomplishes a sense of Tahara, and it's Matir Sam Isser. When it comes to Tevilas Keilim, the food that you use in those Keilim would have been Mutter anyway. The food does not become treif anyhow. So it's a Gzeres HaKasav that you need to do a Tevilah, so we're more likely to be Mekil to allow a Tevilah without Kavana. Shulchan Aruch in Kuf Chav Sif Tezvav Paskins, therefore, Im Hitvil Keilim Al Yidei Ovid Kochavim Olsulem Tevilah, that it absolutely works to do Tevilah Al Yidei Ovid Kochavim. The Taz just wonders, Im Hitvil? If you did it, I thought l'chadchila. I thought you're allowed to do it even l'chadchila. And he says, yeah, you're even allowed to do it l'chadchila, because if you look in the Rishonim that the Shulchan Aruch is based on, they all use l'shonos of l'chadchila. So even though the Shulchan Aruch over here says im hitbil, for sure you're allowed to do it l'chadchila. However, the Ramah writes aval eino ne'eman ala tvila, that if it were done by a nachri, then it does count, and you can even l'chadchila have a nachri do it, but you can't trust the nachri that he did it. So you have to watch him to make sure that he actually does the Tfilas Keilim. And the same applies with the Katan. The Shulchan Aruch in Sif Yudalid, in the previous Sif, says that a Katan is not ne'eman about Tfilas Keilim, and the Ramah says, yeah, but if you see him do it, then that's okay. So for whatever reason, the Mechaber and the Ramah flipped roles between Sif Yudalid and Sif Tezvav in terms of who's going to tell us that it works and who's going to tell us that they're not ne'eman, but it yields the same result. But then the Taz points out a different problem. He says, okay, l'chadchila it works, but how on earth are you going to say a bracha on such a tevilah? He says, "Aval tamili heichi varich al mashe yad bilovid cham Yisrael leino klum." The Jew's not doing anything. How could he say a bracha on a tevilah that a nachri is doing? Al kain ein roi lasas kin l'chadchila. He says, and therefore the Shulchan Aruch, when he uses a lashon of b'diavad, maybe that's the b'diavad, because really the chadchila you should not do a tevilah without a bracha. Harikas Shulchan Aruch kan lashon b'diavad. Aval ima Yisrael matbil gam kain ezekli. But the Taz says, I have a solution. Solution is if you have 100 Keilim to Tovel, so let the Jew do one of them, and he'll say a bracha on the Kli that he does, and then the Nachri could fill in and do the rest. And this is Maisim B'chol Yom. This is like standard practice for caterers and restaurants when they have thousands of Keilim that they need to Tovel. So the Mashkiach will go, he'll oversee the Nachrim that are doing all the Tevilah, and he'll be Tovel the first Kli, and he'll say a bracha, and that will go on all of the Keilim. It's an interesting thing. Can you say a bracha when someone else is doing the mitzvah? The Magen Avraham in Reish Samach Gimel in Aryeh discusses, let's say a woman forgot to light Shabbos candles, and it's now Ben Hashmashos. So a Nachris can light the candles for her, and she can say a bracha. And the Achronim are bothered by that. She didn't do anything. How can she say a bracha if the Nachris is the one that's lighting the candles? Neros. So the Alter Rebbe in Shulchan Aruch Harav says that it's different than Tevila. Tevila, the Gemar mitzvah, is the Maisa Tevila, whereas by Adlachas Neros, it's the idea that there's light in the house. That's really the Gemar mitzvah. It's the Oneg Shabbos of benefiting from and enjoying the light in the house. In fact, the Rav Pesach Frank says a similar thing. He says that the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbos is that it shouldn't be dark. So how do you accomplish Oneg Shabbos? You arrange that it shouldn't be dark. So by asking the Nachris to light, that's also doing the mitzvah of Oneg Shabbos, by arranging that it shouldn't be dark. But the mitzvah of Tevilas Keilim is to do the Tevilas Keilim. It's the Maisa of the Tevila, and therefore, if someone else were doing it and you were taking no part in it, you would not be allowed to say a bracha. Now, the Pri Chadash happens to disagree with the Tas. He thinks you can say a bracha. That just arranging that the guy does it is also good enough. That you don't have to participate. But we normally assume, like that does, that you should do at least one kli, and then the nachri could do it. So, what happens when a nachri converts? What happens to his kelim then? Does he need to do tevilas kelim? Does he need to go to his kitchen and do tevilas kelim and all the kelim? So there's a machlokas about that. The Tzitz Eliezer in Chelik Ches, in the end of Siman Yotes, quotes a bunch of Maramakomos. I think there's a passage in the Shem Yishmuel in the name of his father, in the name of the Avnei Nezer about this, that he says he doesn't need to do a new Tvila, because when he goes to the mikveh and he enters into Kedushas Yisrael, his kelim enter along with him into Kedushas Yisrael. What he means to say is that there is no transfer of ownership from being a Kli Shel Gai to a Kli Shel Yisrael. It remained in the same ownership of the same person, and therefore there's no mechayev of Tvila. Rav Vazner and many other poskim say, what are you talking about? He was a guy, now he's a Jew, he's a Panim Chadashos Baal Lekan, he's a brand new person, so these kelim used to belong to a non-Jew, now they belong to a Jew, and therefore you require Tevilas kelim. I think in our Beis Din, in the Beis Din Lagir of Manhattan, that's affiliated with the RCA, Rav Shechter Paskin, that they do Tevilas kelim but without a bracha. That we, out of respect for the sheet of the Avnei Nezer, not to say a bracha on the Tevila, but that they should still do a Tevilas kelim. Now the assumption of the conversation is that he hadn't toveled his kelim when he was a guy. What if he did? What if someone had toveled their kelim when they were not Jewish? Do they now need a new Tevila? I mean, we just said a guy is allowed to tovel kelim. So what if they toveled their kelim before they were Jewish? So why would they ever do that? Why would that ever come up? So it comes up in the following case. In the Avnei Yoshba, Chelik Zayin Siman Tzadi Dalid, he has the following shaila. A person thought they were Jewish, and they toveled all their kelim, they became Baal Tshuva, everything, they toveled all their kelim, and then they discovered there were questions about their yichus, and there's a good chance that they were not Jewish. Okay, so now they need to go through a giur, but they already toveled all their kelim. So he says it's true that a guy can tovel the kelim, but after you toveled your kelim as a guy, it now belonged to you a guy again. So now you have a nuchi of tvila when it transfers into the rishus of a Jew. So you would still need to do a new tvila. The more interesting question is the namanos of a katan kishan iskadel, right? Meaning, what if a katan did the tvilas kelim and he said I did it, and then he becomes, but you're not allowed to believe him because you're not unless you saw him do it. So what happens when he's niskadel? He becomes a bar mitzvah, and he says, okay, now I'm telling you I did it, and now I have ne'amanos. So there's bir alach and hilchos tzitzis about that, right? If a katan, if a katan is ne'aman begaluso about tzitzis that he made when he was a katan, then he says he's verifying now that he did it lishma, that he did it l'shem mitzvah tzitzis. So that's a more interesting question. But back to our original question: can the guy do the tvila by the beach? L'chora, yes, as long as they're watching him. The problem is going to be the bracha, so they're losing out on the bracha, which is not ideal, and that's why the Shulchan Aruch says it b'lashon b'diavad. But if the other option is that you're going to ruin all your Shabbos clothing and it's going to be a zilzal to Shabbos or whatever, so then maybe that's a shas adchak diavad, and they can rely on doing the tevila without a bracha.